I got to go to Cairo and Vienna, and it was just incredible. And the energy between everyone was so fun. And we just laughed all day, and I think you can feel that in the movie. It's really just fun, exactly like you said, a summer movie. I loved working with Guy. Guy is so inventive, so creative all the time, loves to have a good time, so relaxed, so good at what he does, and is so sharp, just comes up with stuff all the time, and you just know you're in good hands. And he has the same crew forever, so they work together so smoothly. And it's exactly as it should be. It's fun. I think it's so exciting that it's opening everywhere globally on the same day, so that people in different places will have such different reactions, I'm sure, depending on their own impressions of these different locations and mythologies. But it's really, I think, joyful and really for the whole family, which is something that I find so rare, having kids myself, trying to find something that I want to watch that is also appropriate for my kids. It was great working with John. He's such an incredible actor. He's so funny, and he's such a kind person, and we just had a great time. And it was fun getting to play brother and sister. I think that's pretty rare to have at the middle of an adventure movie like this, and makes sense for something that's about the fountain of youth to have someone who's known you since you were a child as your kind of partner through it.
I signed up right as soon as I heard that Guy Ritchie was directing. I didn't even know what it was. I was like, let's do it. And then I read the script, and it's just so much fun. And it's the type of movie that I grew up watching. You know what I mean? This is the kind of movie that I wanted to get into the movies for. So Indiana Jones, Romancing the Stone, that kind of fun adventure. I think we all need a little fun these days, and this is it. It's just so nice. You know, a lot of the movies now are being shot on blue screen and a lot of stuff not necessarily on location. To actually go to these places makes a huge difference. Certainly to the actors, but I think also what you capture on camera is just insane. And to get to go to the pyramids, I think that's the most selfies I've ever taken in my life. I was definitely a teenager on that day, and I was like, where's the pyramid? I kept saying it over and over. Apple's been amazing, and honestly, I've been watching all the stuff that comes out on Apple, and so to actually be a part of an Apple project is so exciting. And you know, they just took such good care of it. It's a big movie, and they believed in it, and they went for it, and I think it shows. You know, we had so much fun, but also the size and scope of the movie is just so big, the action and where we go. And listen, you just need the right palette for Guy Ritchie to paint in, and they gave it to him.
I think the word is fun. You know, we got to turn up and have as much fun as we possibly could all over the world in some of the most amazing locations you can imagine, with an incredible director and wonderful actors. Like, what's not to like? And the script was so fun to begin with, and they just kept making it more and more fun as we went. So, like, it was a dream. I think anybody who says it wasn't the pyramids, I mean, I didn't get to go to Thailand. But standing in the middle of the pyramids and looking up and allowing yourself the moment to be inspired and awestruck by that was pretty special. I play a really interesting guy who keeps changing as the movie goes along, which I think is really nice. Guy sort of bumped it up even more from how it had been in the script and made him very different. And I loved it. I think audiences can expect us to have a huge amount of fun, and that doesn't matter if you're a kid or a grown-up. I think it'll bring the kid out in everybody, and that's my hope.
It was unbelievable. It's a dream of a movie, you know. We had so much fun in the process of making it. We got the opportunity to travel the world to make a film. That's not very common nowadays, and it's a fun genre-bending film. You know, it's adventure, it's comedy, it's just the type of movie that feels incredibly nostalgic and entertaining, and I'm just so happy to be a part of it. I play Esme, and she's sort of the protector of the Fountain of Youth. And as the movie goes on, we start discovering the dynamic between her and John's character, and it's a really fun, entertaining role. You know, it involves a lot of comedy, which I love playing in the comedic realm, and so I truly enjoyed it. John is just the laugh. Honestly, it's really hard to keep a straight face with John. He's always making me laugh. He's like a constantly uplifting attitude on set, and I just really enjoy working with someone that has the vision, the talent, and really brings the best attitude. It was 6 months. Natalie would make me laugh all the time too. She's like secretly really funny.
So my character, Patrick Murphy, used to be part of John Krasinski's dad's crew. So now that, John's character decides that he wants to follow in his father's footsteps, who better to bring along than those that helped his dad do what he wants to do? And so for me, that carried a little bit of weight. I wanted to play the character like a strong fatherly figure, in the sense that, his character and Natalie's character are always banging heads and having that brother-sister competitiveness. And I just wanted to bring a presence almost like what would their dad have done. I'm a kid of the 80s and 90s. Like, I grew up on Raiders of the Lost Ark, Indiana Jones, Goonies, Never-Ending Story, like fantasy, E.T. So for me, I feel like this is a throwback to feel-good movies. It's an action movie, but it's still light. Like, I think John's training on The Office really makes him a master at bringing comedy and comedic timing to everything. He can improv his butt off. And so I feel like all those elements put together make this a fun movie that a whole family can watch together. And guess where people can watch this movie? On Apple TV+. Can you believe that?
Guy Ritchie. I mean, when Guy Ritchie makes a movie, everyone wants to go see it. And the crew, I mean, you got Krasinski, you got Natalie, you have so many amazing people. There's a man going around that's John Krasinski that is going around, and he is absolutely stealing all this artwork. And as I'm trying to find him to solve that case, other things kind of unveil. So that bus kind of like gets in the middle of a lot of heated things, which is kind of fun and exciting and cool to do an action movie. It's nostalgic a little bit, doesn't it? It's got a feeling of, like National Treasure, Last Crusade, all these like beautiful like movies that they don't actually make anymore, to be real with you. And so to be involved with something that's like a great family of four can come and like sit down at the TV and watch and see it, it's kind of amazing. I mean this with all my heart. Apple TV Plus is the best. You've got some of the greatest shows right now. And so it's really kind of amazing to be a part of this like amazing company. So it's just cool.
I guess I play John Krasinski's sidekick, the person that always sort of fixes things when it's needed. I sort of step in when, things start to go awry, which is a lot in this film. And I'm often the voice of reason who gets the job done. Seriously, I feel like it's on so many people's bucket lists to go to the great ancient wonder of the world, Egypt. And there's no better way to do it than with a Guy Ritchie film. We were like right at the foot of the pyramids, blowing up cars, filming, and it just really helps. We could have done that with CGI, really, but to actually be there, you really do feel the energy of that place, and it really does contribute to the performance and just the feeling that you're part of something that's very electric and very special. I think this is a little bit of a sort of throwback to movies that I grew up watching in the 80s that you don't see quite as much. Adventure, sort of big, epic sort of storylines that go around the world, and I feel like we're bringing a lot of that to the screen, which I think is a treat for the whole family.
I think my favourite place was Egypt. I mean, we were filming by the pyramids. We filmed inside as well. That was awesome. Me and my mum, we actually went inside the Great Pyramid of Giza, which was incredible. My character's called Thomas, and he loves music, and so do I. That's why in the movie I actually played the piano on a Steinway, which was amazing. And he admires his uncle so much, who is played by John. He loves the stories that he gets told.
It was incredible. It's so wonderful to be able to write something original and have a company like Skydance support it, and have a cast like this and a director like Guy Ritchie stand up and say they want to make it. And it's just so lovely to make an original film these days and put it out there for everybody to see. Guy is incredible. He can do so many different things, and he's such a veteran of all these different genres. To see him tackle something like this, which is new for him, sort of the family adventure film, is not what he's known for, but he came to it with such intelligence and aplomb and worked with the actors so well that I think people are really going to be impressed by what he's done. When I was 8 years old, my parents let me rent Raiders of the Lost Ark on VHS every weekend for a year. So the treasure hunter action adventure genre is something that's always been in me, and I feel like we haven't had one of those in so long, and I'm so happy that people are going to get to see it on.
I'm a big fan of the old school action adventure films, bit of mystery, bit of magic, so this felt like a really good one. Well, I worked with Guy for about 16 years, so him and I are quite a good team. All-star cast, great. I mean, having Natalie Portman, wow, amazing. It's such a weird thing, the pyramids. You see them on TV, but you're never prepared when you actually go there and see them. It's just massive, very impressive.